Hi, I'm Laura Maiola from MoxieLife Coach. As a divorce coach and mediator, I help you save big money in your divorce, as well as provide you with the emotional, legal, and financial support you need to make decisions you're proud of. And in this week's episode of What You Don't Know About Divorce Will Cost You, I'm discussing perfection versus authenticity. And so as a coach, I see people struggle with this idea of perfection. And that means different things to different people. But the idea of having to be perfect in your life, meaning that you have to be and do everything you should do based on some societal standard that you haven't defined for yourself, is really a trap. And it's not only a trap that will not serve you, will not help you be successful in this world, it also will block you from ever achieving true authenticity in your life. So we all have negative self-talk, self-limiting beliefs. In my coaching school, we call it saboteurs because they sabotage you in your life. You can call it gremlins, whatever, but these are the voices in your head that tell you what you should do, what you can't do, who basically tell you that you need to be what others think, right? And there's a whole host of saboteurs in our lives. The master saboteur, the one that we all have, is the judge. Judging others, judging ourselves. And the judge is tricky because the judge says, I'm going to give you an impossibly high standard that is actually outside of your control to ever achieve. And when you don't achieve it, because you've been set up for failure already, the judge flips the coin and says, see, I told you, you're not good enough, you're not capable enough, you don't deserve it. So we do that to ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. And the judge says, you need to be perfect. That means the things you do at work or at home have to be perfect. That you can't ever make a mistake. You can't ever fail. And that's, first of all, a really tall order. I would actually say it's impossible. But it shouldn't be anything that you actually want. Because the only way we learn and grow and evolve as human beings is through failure. It's through challenge. It's through being deeply uncomfortable and learning who we are in those situations. So I always tell my kids, there's no such thing as failure. There's only opportunities to learn and to grow. But the judge has you thinking that anything outside a box of your own creation that's about this big, anything outside of that is failure, and that you've failed. It's not just what you're doing that fails, it's you are a failure. That's what the judge says. And again, it's impossible to ever meet those standards. And wouldn't it be incredibly boring in this world if everyone were perfect? That sounds terrible. It sounds absolutely terrible. No one wants to be a Stepford wife. Nobody. And nobody wants to talk to a Stepford wife because they're kind of really boring. So it's important to understand that perfection blocks us from success. And it blocks us from being able to nurture, tap into, and be authentic with ourselves. So what does authenticity mean? Obviously, I want you to define it for yourself. But for me, authenticity means acceptance. I can accept myself, the good, the bad, the ugly, and be okay with it. It doesn't mean I don't strive for what I want in my life, but it means that I will trip, I will fall down, and that's okay. Everybody does. That's okay. I recently was interviewed for the Sunshine Summit, which I'll be posting on my website in a few weeks, and in the middle of this interview, I had been sick, and in the middle of the interview, I start coughing because I have this horrible dry throat, and I'm desperately trying to drink tea with honey in it, but you can clearly hear that I'm struggling and that my voice is not what it typically is. And Danielle, the interviewer, said, oh, afterwards, do you want us to cut it out? I'm like, no, because that's who I was in that moment. That's okay. You know, perfection is not the goal. It's not the goal in life. It's not the destination. The goal in life is to focus on who you are. Accept that there are things you love about yourself and there are things you won't love about yourself. And that's okay. It's all part of that journey. And really knowing yourself allows you to step into leadership in a way that's not possible when you're focused on perfection. The most inspiring and dynamic leaders in our society are the ones that are truly authentic to themselves. They're focused not on perfection, which is really self-obsessed in a big way, unless they're a narcissist. But the ones who are really inspiring know who they are. So I would want that for you. Coaching allows you to find those answers. Because I talk to so many people who are striving for that. And they blame themselves. The judge comes in and says, well, you know, you haven't done it all these years. Clearly you're not up to it. And that's not the case. We are all clouded to ourselves. Meaning that you need outside perspectives. You need tools and knowledge that are going to help you on that journey. All coaches have coaches for that reason. We all need an outside perspective. So I hope you find it valuable. Know that I do offer free 1-hour consultations for anyone who wants to talk about their situation and whether coaching is a good fit for them in the future. You can go to my website, MoxieLifeCoach.com or MoxieLifeDivorce.com, access my free resources, videos, articles, all of that stuff, as well as my divorce toolkit and other exclusive content in the Moxie members part of the site. So until next week, speak your truth, even if your voice shakes.